Aina, and welcome to Voices of Truth, one-on-one with Hawaii's future, brought to you by the Kiwani Foundation. I'm Ahu Keikahu Cardwell, and here we are out today on the windward side of Oahu. We got a great guest, so let's go on over here and meet her. Mahealani, aloha.
Aloha mai.
Aloha, welcome to Voices of Truth.
Welcome to Ko'olapoko.
Ko'olapoko, this is wonderful. Look out here, look at, we have Chinaman's hat in the background, yeah?
It's Mokoli'i.
Mokoli'i. It's a wonderful day out here in Hawaii. And so let's walk this way. And you brought us here today to talk about something very interesting that's going on in Hawaii right now, yeah?
Well, it's starting here in Ko'olapoko. We're
starting right here.
Yeah, well, in the Ko'olapokomoku, the district of the windward side, the lower side. And in Ko'olapoko, we are setting up boundary markers with signage right now. And the boundary markers are to identify where the traditional boundaries lie for our ahupua'a here on the windward side. Ahupua'a are throughout the whole islands. I think there's 1,100 ahupua'a throughout the Hawaiian Islands.
But those divisions are called ahupua'a.
Correct.
And then after Western contact and the Western ways came in, that got lost. And now it's being revived again.
It's never been lost. I think some people have forgotten it.
Gotcha.
And we're trying to reestablish where these boundaries are as best we can, using old maps and using natural features of the landscape, which Hawaiians might have used to also mark the boundary. What we had with the ahupua'a system, which was very successful for many centuries, was the people in the ahupua'a took care of their resources. That was their kuleana, take care of the aina, take care of the ocean resources, and take care of their people. So that worked very well, and our people thrived under the ahupua'a system. So we think that by reinstituting that thinking about malama aina, taking care of your kuleana, we will be able to sustain our people for generations to come.
Wow. You know, Mahealani, it sounds to me like an ahupua'a, because it's from the mountains to the ocean, is a complete cycle, yeah? Because you have all the resources right there.
Well, the ideal ahupua'a had all the resources for the people in that ahupua'a to survive, to live, to do their work, to make their food, to gather their food, and to do whatever they needed to do. So they had to have some access to the ocean. You know, there are some ahupua'a that appear landlocked, so they were given land that had ocean, beach resources, so that they could get sea life as part of their sustainability.
Wow. So you guys have come along and you said, we're going to put this thing back on the map, yeah?
Correct.
Wow. How long have you been doing this?
Well, we've been planning it for maybe 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years. We're able to get the state and the city to agree to putting in these signage markers and also later on we want to put the stone ahu markers, which were the traditional markers. So they agreed to the symbol. It's a new state standard for the ahupua'a signs. And our goal is to encourage these signs to be placed statewide.
So you said they're going to add stone markers, yeah? Yeah,
our hope is to build stone markers near the boundaries or in the boundaries wherever our signs will be located. And it will only be allowed where it's safe enough, because some of the roadside areas are too narrow, so we may not be able to put the markers everywhere. But we're going to mark them as many places as we can at the boundaries of the ahupua'a.
Wow. So this is going to be throughout Hawaii, yeah? All islands, huh?
Well, our project is only about Ko'olapokomoku, which is the district on Oahu.
Where we are right now.
The southern end of the windward side.
Wow.
So I know that Waianae, the civic clubs out there, are working to put signage out there as well. And they also have plans for stone ahu markers as well. Other clubs are starting to say, we would like to mark our ahupua'a too. Yeah. So we're going to encourage all of Oahu to do that, and hopefully statewide, other communities will want the same. To connect the people with their ahupua'a and to help remind people, even the new people who have moved in, that it is the kuleana of the people living in the ahupua'a to take care, to malama that area.
It's the responsibility. They don't
have to take care of everybody else. They got to take care of their own backyard.
Yeah.
That's the ideal.
Sounds to me like something that's really going to catch on.
I hope so. You know, I mean, it caught on hundreds of years ago. We just want to bring it back so that it's working again for the people.
Right.
Our civic club started it, but we knew it had to involve the other civic clubs in Ko'olapoko. So we invited them to be part of the steering committee, so they were partners all the way. as well as the neighborhood boards. Neighborhood boards are elected by the communities within these ahupua'a, so we thought neighborhood boards were also important because whether they're Hawaiian or not, kuleana is still there. They got to take care. Neighborhood boards generally care about their aina, and so it was a natural fit. And so we've worked very well with our neighborhood boards here in Ko'olapoko.
So it wasn't hard to get them to buy into the project?
No, it was not how it was interesting because what we did when we, one of the things we learned was that Maunalua was part of Ko'olapoko. It was a part of the Waimanalo Ahupua'a, which was interesting that that's Hawaii Kai. It's a large area, it used to be a fish pond. So we don't know why, but Maunalua is part of Ko'olapoko. So we went to the Hawaii Kai Neighborhood Board and we said, welcome to Ko'olapoko. And they smiled and they were happy. It was interesting. I thought they would want to stay with Kona, but they were happy to be part of Ko'olapoko.
Wow.
So the boundary for Ko'olapoko on the south end is at Kuleo'o Ridge.
Wow.
So Waimanalo is a very large ahupua'a. When we went to the Waimanalo Neighborhood Board, you know, we asked the question, why is Maunalua part of Waimanalo Ahupua'a? And the speculation was that the lands at Waimanalo were given to Queen Kalama by the king, and it's possible he gave her Maunalua because of the large fish pond, because there was no large fish pond in Waimanalo at the time.
You said earlier that the Ahupua'a system had been forgotten about, yeah? Over time, through time.
It was forgotten by a lot of people. Some of the old communities still understand and remember. As I was growing up, you know, my tutu would tell me what ahupua'a we were in. Whenever we were going out on riding up the Windward Coast, she would describe each of the ahupua'a, you know, place by place. So that was how I learned about at least the Ko'olapoko ahupua'a. And I think there are other families that have the same kind of teaching, cultural teaching from their kupuna.
Yeah.
And so we hope that by revitalizing the interest and the support for the ahupua'a concept, you know, it's in the state general plans, it's in the county sustainability plans. So we are hoping that we can get the government and the broader community to think Hawaiian.
So how did you guys know where the boundary markers were if it mostly was forgotten over the years?
Where they should be placed?
Yeah.
Okay, we knew that they were placed usually according to ridge lines or streams. We took the last official map of the Kingdom of Kingdom of Hawaii, 1876 map, and that map showed the ahupua'a boundaries. And we felt that was, the steering committee had to vote on this, and they decided to go with that map because it was the last official map recognized by the ali'i of Hawaii. And generally it was the ali'i who, you know, decided who got lands and what was where. And so that boundary was more traditional than later maps that are found in sites of Oahu and other materials.
So Mahealani, you know, what is the difference between what we have here in Hawaii now versus the Ahupua'a system?
Well, I think we have a disconnect that can be corrected with not too much trouble, actually. We have a community that cares. They care about these islands, generally speaking, but they're so distracted with other things. They are not as connected to their aina as they could be. So we want to teach this model of stewardship from the youngest age to the kupuna age. We want to reinvigorate our people with that idea, that Hawaiian cultural value of being a part of the holistic system of the Hawaiian culture. It was really we're all one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, one thing that strikes me as you're saying this is that back in the old days, pre-contact, there were about as many people live in Hawaii as there are today, yeah?
That's some theories, yes.
Yeah, and yet no food was imported.
No food
but
was
today,
imported. They survived on everything.
Most all food is imported.
They had no sewer lines, no electricity.
Right.
No water line, no water mains. Everything was through the streams and the ocean and whatever we had.
And they thrived.
Yeah, they thrived.
So it sounds to me like with the reintroduction of the Ahupua'a system, maybe, just maybe, we could start to migrate back to a system where we don't have to import so much food. Yeah.
That's one of the things we're looking at, is being more sustainable ourselves, being more providing more of our own food locally.
Yeah.
And so we're doing that here throughout the islands there are groups that are working on reviving the taro fields and supporting diversified farming. There's a lot of concern about genetically engineered foods, so we want to make sure that the food is pono, so that the people are safe for generations to come. Yeah.
Great. So besides food, what other things might shift back like that under an ahapua'a system?
Well, you know, we can use some of our alien vegetation for green waste, so it helps power electricity. We can use some of the vegetation like bamboo. We were trying to clean up Haiku Valley. There's a lot of bamboo in there. They're used for housing, supplies, to use as a kind of wood. So some of those things that might be opala can actually be made valuable to us as well.
Something that might be considered trash at first glance
Correct.
is actually very valuable.
And Hawaii's never wasted anything.
That's right.
They took everything
you can't.
and they had a use for everything.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, you can't afford to. It's an
Can't
island.
afford to, yes.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. So are a lot of people excited about this?
Well, I know that the interest is growing, and we know it takes time. We're patient. We're going to help raise awareness wherever we can, 1% at a time. We're so grateful that the spirit of our Hawaiian people is living again and entering everyone's na'au so that everyone supports this idea as well.
Why are you involved in this project?
Well, my kupuna of our family asked me to help work with other local families to restore the Ko'olapuka Hawaiian Civic Club, which had gone dormant for some time.
Really?
It was established in 1937. My tutu Kane, Papa Cypher, was one of the founders of the Ko'olapuka Hawaiian Civic Club in 1937.
Wow.
So our kupuna in our family asked, can you guys go start it up again? So we did several years ago. And so as part of the reawakening of our interest in the Civic Club was about reawakening the interest of our community in the cultural treasures of our aina, of our Ko'olapuka moku.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That when you get one, the other one comes along with it. There's a link there.
Yeah. And our kupuna are with us all the time, living and dead. They're with us all the time, guiding us and helping us to know what to do.
Wow. Yeah. Sounds to me like it's probably impossible to do one without the other, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Wow. Great.
Well, if we pay attention and listen, some of us are so distracted with electronics that we forget or we don't hear. And there's so much out there that we can learn from. We just need to be patient and learn.
You know what? I'll tell you something right now, Mahealani. You strike me as one of those people that pays close attention.
I can't help it. They are yelling in my spirit all the time.
Ah, very good.
Civic Club had gone from a handful of people to, several hundred people now. So
really? Wow.
Our Civic Club, in 1937 or in the late 30s or early 40s, the Ko'olapuka Hawaiian Civic Club had 3,000 members.
No kidding.
But their membership was from Makapu all the way to Waimea Valley.
Wow.
So all the people who were, all the families used to belong to the club. So that goal is to bring us back to that strength. Now, our geographical area that we work with primarily is Kaneohe Bay. The ahupu'a from Kaneohe to Kualoa is the ahupu'a that we work with. Mm-hmm. There is a Kailua Hawaiian Civic Club that handles that ahupu'a, and the Waimanalo and the Maunalua Hawaiian Civic Clubs handle Waimanalo to Maunalua. So we respect that there are new clubs and they handle their kuleana and we handle ours.
And so how many members you got in the club right now?
We have over 200 right now.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, we're one of the larger of the Hawaiian Civic
Very
clubs.
good, very good. Okay, so you restarted the club, you regrew the membership, growing the membership, and then all of a sudden you guys realized, wait a minute, there's more to this than that.
Oh, our club, every time somebody comes up with an idea of something they'd like to work on, we say, Maikai, go for it. And
so all lights are green.
All lights are green.
Wow.
We do try to watch out for each other if anybody's getting into an area that they need help with or they need to be cautious about. We try to help each other. So there's a lot of cross-training and mentoring each other all along with the kupuna and the young people as well.
So is this ahapu'a system project you guys are working on, is that like the largest one in the club?
Oh no, we have so many other projects we're working on. We have the He'ia wetlands, which is 400 acres. We're trying to restore to kalo and other food crops. And we got a lease for 38 years from the HCDA to restore that land to productivity.
Wow.
We are trying to establish a cultural preserve in Haiku Valley, and we're trying to work with OHA and Hawaiian Homelands to clear that valley of the alien stuff and restore that whole property to a good cultural area.
Wow.
Again, we have many other things we're working on, but yeah, we have lots of things going on. We're really an active club.
It sounds like you guys are busy people.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is, it's the people in the club, the wonderful, wonderful members. They work hard, but they have fun. You know, we tell them all the time, if it's not fun, then we don't want to do it. So every task that we take on, we make it something that is enjoyable and fun, because otherwise you lose members. Yeah. So members do what they want to do. They don't have to do everything, and that's what makes our club strong, I think.
Wow. You know, Mahealani, we have Voices of Truth viewers not only throughout Hawaii, but all over the world. Literally, our show airs all over the world. So there may be somebody watching us right now who is sitting there thinking, well, you know, what she's done is really great and I'm inspired, but I could never do something like that. What would you say to them?
You can find the boundaries of the Ahupua'a where you live, and you can teach the people to malama their own Ahupua'a wherever you live, because Ahupua'a is a word. I'm sure the Native Americans have a different word for the land boundaries where they live. In New York City, there are Ahupua'a traditional boundaries that the natives that there once, you know, observed. And you can do the same idea of stewardship and connection with your aina anywhere in the world, anywhere.
Wow.
So if they want training, they may come to Hawaii, and I'm glad to train them.
So you don't have to be in Hawaii to find discover your own Ahupua'a.
That's right. We should all know where we live and how we can care for the places that we live.
Wow. And what motivates you? What makes you get out of bed each day and do this?
The fact that we have so much to do, and we want to do a lot of this stuff before we die, right? So there's nowhere to go but up, and we want to lift up the Hawaiian people. I believe the Hawaiian people are put on this earth to teach the whole world about the aloha spirit, about this idea of caring for the aina and the ocean and the people. It's aloha, each other and where we live. So I think that's our kuleana from Akua, and so that's what gets me up, is that I think we got a lot more to do, and we got to keep, and I'm like the official nag of our club. I'm not the president anymore,
Oh boy, the
but
secret
I'm
is out.
So, but they're a good club, and I'm so proud and honored to be a part of them.
Wow, but you know, you're right. Hawaii really is the showcase for the entire planet. Because if we can get it right here, everybody can get it right anywhere, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's both a huge opportunity, but also a very serious responsibility to get it right here.
You know, the Hawaiians had a kind of a legend, or I don't know if it's a story, a mo'olelo they share. They said they believed that the Hawaiian Islands were the pico of the whole universe.
The center.
And they actually knew where the center was. They actually described it. It was a place called Kanila'au Heiau, which was located sort of near the intersection of Alapai and Beretani Street in downtown Honolulu. There was a big heiau there. The Battle of Nu'uanu actually started there with the first engagement, but that was where they said was the pico of the entire universe. And I believe it. You know, in the middle of the ocean, that makes sense.
That's really interesting. Thousands and thousands of years ago, people who lived in Hawaii they had an awareness about not only themselves, but about the rest of the entire planet.
Well, they may not have known what was out there, but they knew with their own communication, with their akua, that this was the center.
But they knew they were making an impact.
I guess so.
Yeah.
They're led by their kupuna as well.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Know. I mean, the Hawaiians are everywhere in the world, you know, everywhere.
Yeah.
So we are a global community, the Native Hawaiian people.
Yeah, yeah.
And I believe that wherever they are, they don't have to be here to teach and practice the culture. I'm sure they are practicing it wherever they are.
Right. So
and
now
so spread the aloha wherever you are.
The secret is out. We've infiltrated the planet, folks. It's too late, you see.
And we welcome you all to join us in Thinking Hawaiian.
Yep, absolutely. But you know what? That's really the best news out there, is that there are people out there all over the planet, circling the planet now, who really love and have a deep care and connection for the land, for the place. And you know, the mission, the role is to nurture it, so not only when the land thrives, the people thrive.
That's right.
And that message has been carried literally encircling the globe. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that wonderful?
And you know what's also interesting? Wherever you go in the world, if you just mention the word Hawaii, it lifts people's hearts.
Yes.
That tells me that even in the word, it heals people's spirits. So I know we have a kuleana. We are missing the boat here if we're not doing what we can wherever we are to use our aloha spirit, and the mana we have, which is in our koko, is to help other people. It's not about being selfish or grumbling about other people, but about helping other people in whatever way we can.
Wow. Well, Mahealani, my request to you is keep on helping people. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. Don't stop. And mahalo for being on the show today.
Mahalo.
It's great.
Mahalo.
Keep doing what you're doing. And to our viewers, mahalo to you for joining us on this very special visit out here in this wonderful place in Hawaii. Remember, you can watch us on the web 24/7 on voicesoftruthtv.com. I'm Ehuke Kahu Cardwell. And until next time, ahui ho! Mahalo for watching Voices of Truth one-on-one with Hawaii's Future. Watch us on the web 24/7 at voicesoftruhtv.com. You'll find all our shows, including this one, in case you want to see it again or share it with family and friends. Also view our weekly video commentaries at freehawaiitv.com. And check out our blog, published daily, at freehawaii.info. It's all part of the Free Hawaii Broadcasting Network.